Hello children, let's start for the day.
Hello children, since we have already started with our second chapter, that is addition, today we are going to see the addition facts. So what are addition facts? The things which help, or the tricks which help you to do the addition faster. So those we are going to learn. So those are the addition facts, or the tricks you can see. Now the first trick, if you add, now let's take number 4. If I add, that is if I add, so here I am giving a plus sign. If I add 0 to 4, let's take an example here. I have 4 lollipops here. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I have 4 lollipops here. And if I add a 0, that means I am adding nothing to this lollipop. So how many do I have again? Let's count it once again. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So do you see any change here? No. So my answer here remained the same. So this means the first fact is that if we add 0 to any number, the answer or the sum of that number remains the same itself. Okay, so this is equal to this. Okay, so whenever we add 0 to any number, even if we take 2 plus 0, yeah, so my answer is going to remain 2 itself. It is, the sum is not going to change. We have the same number. Okay, so 0 does not change the answer. Yeah, so from this fact we get to know that even if we add 0, that is by adding a 0 to any number, the number does not change, but the number remains the same itself. So this is fact number 1, or the trick number 1. Now moving on to the second trick, which is, now if I take 3 lollipops with me, I have 3 lollipops with me, and if I add one more, what number do I get here? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I got, by adding one lollipop, I got the next number. Yeah. So we have our trick number 2, that is, let's take the same number here, or let's take, so if I take here number 3 and if I add 1 to this number, yeah, so the sum which I'm going to get, what is sum? The answer. So the sum which I'm going to get the next number of this. Yeah, so remember, we get the next number. We get the next number when we add 1. So our trick number 2 is, when we add 1 to any number, the sum is the next number. Okay, now let's move on to the next trick number 3, which is, okay, so here let's take 3 lollipops. So I have 3 lollipops in my left hand and I have 1 lollipop in my right hand, right? Now 3 plus 1 is 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here altogether I have 4. So let's write this on the board here. 3 plus 1 equal to 4. Yeah. So if I change the order, that means now I'm taking 3 in my right hand and 1 in my left hand. Okay, so I change the order. 1 plus 3. Let's check the answer. Let's count and check the answer. So I have 1, 2, 3 and 4. So yes, so here my answer remains the same. So here I changed the order, that is 3 plus 1 and 1 plus 3. right? So even if we change the order, we have the same answer. So this is trick number 3. So children, whenever doing addition, you are going to remember these 3 tricks or these 3 addition facts. So these 3 facts are going to make our work easier, are going to make solving the sums very easier. So let's revise it once again. If we add 0 to any number, the sum is going to remain the same as the number. Okay. Then next is if we add 1 to any number, the sum is going to be the next number. And fact number 3 is, even if we change the order, we have the answer which we get remains the same. Now let's solve the exercise given on page number 90. So we have exercise 2.1 where we have total 4 sums, out of which 2 I am going to do here and the rest 2 you are going to do as your homework. Let's start solving the exercise now. So let's look at the first sum. So here we have 51 plus 17. Now the first thing which we are going to do, that is we are going to write tens and ones. Yeah. Now first we are going to solve only the ones place. I hope you remember what I told you in the last video or the last period. So we are going to first only add up the ones place. So when we look at the ones place, we have here number 1 and 7. So let's take the bigger number in our mind. So I'm taking bigger number, that is 7 in my mind. I'm going to lock it up. So 7 in my mind and 1 on my finger. So also remember here the fact which we learned, when we add 1 to any number, we get the next number as our answer. So let's cross check it. So 7 in my mind and 1 on my finger. So 7 and 8. So we have 8 ones, right? Now let's move on to the tens place here. So we have number 5 and 1. So again the same fact which we learned, 5 plus 1. So here we can use the fact which we learned, that is 5 plus 1, that is the next number we are going to get as answer. Let's cross check it. So 5 in my mind and 1 on my finger. So 5 and 6. So here I have 6 tens and 8 ones. That is, we have the answer or the sum is 68. Yes. Now let's move on to the next one. So here I am doing the third one. Here also, before we start solving, we are going to write tens and ones. Okay. Now here, if we see the ones place, we have 3 numbers, 1, 0 and 7. So let's look at these two first. So here we have 1 plus 0. So if we add 0 to any number, the number remains the same itself. So here we have 1 plus 0 is 1. Yeah. So I'm keeping 1 in my mind for time being. Okay. And the next number we have 7. So let's take 7 in my mind and 1 on my finger. So 7, and the next number comes here 8. So here I have 8 ones. Let's move on to the tens place. So 6 plus 1, we get the next number, 6 in my mind and 1 on my finger. So 6 and 7. Okay, so now I'm going to put my answer in my head again because we have one more number here. So 7 in my mind and 2 on my finger. So 7, 8 and 9. So here we have 9 tens and 8 ones. That is, we have got the answer or the sum as 98. Yeah. So this exercise, you are going to solve it in your notebook. Only these 2 sums. Now along with these 2 sums, you are going to do homework as the second one and the fourth one. Yeah, so these 2 are your homework sums. But before you start doing this, what you are going to do? You are going to write the today's date. So what is today's date? 20th May 2020. Then you are going to give the lesson's name since we are starting a new lesson. So you are going to write lesson number 2, addition, on the very first line. And yes, also make sure you don't write inside the margin. Yeah, but you're going to start writing immediately after the margin. Then you're going to give the exercise name, that is exercise 2.1. Then you will write add and then you will start solving. Also make sure you write one number in one box and make sure you complete your work on time.